Hey, welcome to Zville Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain. Today we're going to be covering Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. We're going to do this in two parts. The first part is going to be for the intermediate players, where I just show you the chords that I do. I do it a little different than the album, and I'll also show you the beginning lead, which is a little different than the album. The second part will be for the beginners, where I show you detailed chord breakdowns, strumming patterns, stuff like that. And teach you how to play it. If you want to jump ahead in the video to that section, go down in the description area. You'll see beginner's lessons with the time code. Click on the time code. It'll jump ahead in the video. Let's get going. Welcome to the intermediate section of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. I'm going to show you how they play it. Then I'm going to show you how I play it slightly different. Once again, this channel is about making songs your own, lessons for live performance. So let's start off with what they're doing. They're going to hold the upper part of a G chord with their pinky and ring finger on the third fret of the 1 and 2 strings the whole time. And I don't do it this way, so I'm not totally used to it. Then you're just going to walk up from a G note on the 6th string. You end up on the 2nd octave E. So what I did there was 3, open on 5, 2, open on 4, 2, and then strum the bottom 4 strings. And then 2nd fret on the 4th string to an open 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 4th string back to an open D. Now you're walking down to that A. 2nd, open on the 4th string, 2nd, open on the 5th string, and then keeping this G here. Skipping the G then and just climbing out of the A. Back down to the A. How I'm doing the song is a little different. Here's how I do it. I do the same climb, but I don't hold these. I just do this. Then I only hold the 1st string 3rd fret. So it's like an open E, right? And then I go to 2 on the 2nd one just to mix it up a little bit. I choose to bring that in rather than this. I like that high end in there, so. Then the same thing. So that's basically the opening section right there. So let me show you what I'm doing for that lead, which is a little different than what they do on the album. And once again, I do it my own way. So the lead comes in once you start the second pattern. What I do is I go up to the 9th fret of the 4th string, the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and the 9th fret of the 3rd string. See that? See how that pauses there? Then I go back down to the 4th string and I kind of do go to that open G kind of thing there. Then you do that out of A. Then I go up to the 7th fret on your 3rd string and the 8th fret on your 2nd string. That's what I do. That's not exactly how they do it. And what I do there is just slide up and back down. So I'm only hitting once. And I'm using I'm kind of plucking with both. I'm not doing this. I'm plucking like that. So. And then I bar across the 7th fret of the 3rd and 4th string and I flam up. Like that. Then it kind of starts from that G again. So instead of pausing here, it does the same notes, but it just works it in a different pattern. So when you go into the second part of the lead, so it's going up to the 9th of your 4th string, 7th and 9th of your 3rd string, back down to the 7th and 9th of the 4th string. So that's the box you're staying in right there. Bend it, right? So you go. Then back to that. Back down to your G. So let's get into the verse now. Once you're done with that little pattern, and I usually hold the G out twice as long as they do, just to get my groove going a little bit, especially when I'm doing solo. Build it up a little bit and then so you got a C up to a D, down to an A, down to a G, back up to that D, down to a C, down to an A, down to a G. Second verse. So that's about it for the whole song as far as chords and that little opening lead. So let's go ahead and jump into the beginner section. Hey yo, welcome to the beginner section of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. Let me just show you what chords we're going to do first, then I'll explain how to do the chords in case you're brand new. This is a pretty tough song if you're brand new because there's a lot of changes. So, and it's strumming, but I'm going to show you how I do it, not necessarily how they do it on the album. That'll make it a little easier for you, but I'm also going to show you how they do it on the album just in case you want to learn it the proper way. Remember, this is about Lessons for Live. It's about making songs your own, so I always turn the songs around just a little bit and make them a little different. We got a G chord we're going to be doing. We got a D chord we're going to be doing. We're doing an A chord, but I always put a little pinky up on top for that one. Not always, but for this I do. And then we have a C chord. Those are the main chords for the song. Let's work on the chorus to start with, since those are the simple chords. And if you're brand new, this is what all you want to really try to play to start with. You don't want to try to do the opening because it's a lot of finger movement and picking and stuff like that. So right as the song comes in, So that's where the vocals start. You go to a C chord. So your C chord, you're going to start out of your G as you come into it. Let me go ahead and show you how to do a G chord first, in case you don't know. A G chord is comprised of this or that. And it's going to be your middle finger on the 6th string, your top string, on the 3rd fret. Your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 5th string. You're going to hold your middle 2 strings open. And then you're going to put your ring finger and your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of your 1 and 2 strings. And that creates a G chord. I guess it's better to show you that way. Now you can lift your ring finger off and put it on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and do it that way, or leave your pinky on there and do it that way as well. That's your G chord. So as you come out of that opening segment with the lead, you're... So, all right, so is out of C. And that is going to be played as your ring finger is on the 3rd fret of your 5th string right here. Your middle finger is going to be on the 2nd fret of your 4th string right there. You're going to play your 3rd string open. Put your index finger on the 1st fret of your 2nd string right here. And then your bottom string, which is your 1st string, E, is open. That creates a C chord. The next chord you're going to go to is going to be your D. They might play it a little different on the album. I'm not sure if they do it open like this or like this, but I kind of move around in it, but you can just go ahead and play your standard D. Your D chord is going to be your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 1st string. And you can hit the bottom 4 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, because this open note right here on your 4th string is a D note. And since you're doing a D chord, you can put that D in there. You don't just have to do the bottom 3. You can do that. The C, I'm going to back up once here. You don't play the top string. You play the bottom 5. And your G, you play all 6 because you got your middle finger on that G note, your root note right there. Or like that, like I was saying. Then your only other chord is going to be your A. And you can just play it like this. That's your 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Your 5th is open right there. Then you go ahead and put your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 3rd and 4th string, leaving your 5th open with your root note. I like to do this. A lot of people play it like this. I've never played an A chord like that my whole life. It's clumsy if you ask me. I like doing this. And I like to play it like this, so I got my other fingers available to do stuff with. You know, when you got all 3 fingers tied up, you're kind of trapped. So, and it's, like I said, it's clumsy. So let me show you how to walk through it. I'm going to walk through the verse real nice and slow for you here. Ready? So you come out of the lead at the beginning where it kicks in. And you'll notice on this song that it starts off with an electric rhythm guitar that sounds like it's coming through an AM radio. If you're young, you don't know what that is. It's a very thin, distant sound. And then the acoustic lead comes on top of it. That is kind of unique because usually you have an acoustic bass with an electric lead on top. They kind of turn it around on this album. But then once the vocals kick in, you'll notice the acoustic and the electric are in there together for the rest of the song pretty much. So go ahead and get your G in position. But before we get going, I'm going to show you a picking pattern so you know what you're doing here. So you think you can tell, down, down, heaven from hell, down, down, blue skies from pain, down, down. Now you can do it that way, just simple down, down, down. I do a little different. I'm like down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But I'm going to be going down, down, up, down, up. That's the strikes. That's where you really want to like hit it a little harder. And the other pieces in between are just kind of like little draws on the strings. You're not necessarily muting like I've talked about in my other videos. This one, you kind of leave it ring open. But if you're brand new, go ahead and just down, down. So you think you can tell down, heaven from hell, blue skies from pain. And there's that A I was talking about. I like to see how it adds some top end rather than just being down there. Kind of fill out the chord. You always kind of want to try to fill out the chord. And then you can also, and I've talked about this before, once you get your D and you're good at playing your D, add a pinky in there like you would for the G. You know, you got your pinky on the bottom string. So go ahead and take that in there, add that pinky, and then remove the pinky and remove the middle finger too. So you just got the 2. You're just on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then the 1st string is open. So you think you can tell. Watch my pinking. See how I'm coming up on that? Down, up, up. So C up to a D. So you think you can tell. Heaven from hell. Down to the A, down to your G. See how it works in both positions? You don't always have to do it in both positions, and sometimes I'll do it and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I just do this too. I don't add that top one. So you think you can tell. Heaven from hell. You just end the back end of it. So that's basically it. So let's go ahead and play it nice and slow for you guys real quick. Ready? So we're going to take the G twice, even though it only does it once on the album. I like to do it twice to build it up or bring it down. Here we go. Let's slow it down a little bit more. Ready? Up to the C. So you think you can tell. D. Down to the A. Down to the G. Up to the D. Down to the C. Down to the A. Down to the G. 2nd verse. Here we go. C, up to the D, down to the A, down to the G, up to the D, down to the C, down to the A, down to the G. So let me show you the opening to the song now. If you're a brand new beginner and you're not ready to be playing stuff as complicated as this right now, go ahead and just repeat what we just did a few times. So watch now and I'll show you how it goes and you'll see how it's out of this scale. Now let me explain that to you. What they're doing on the album, the reason that's going to sound different, that's the way I do it. I do it different than the album. That's what this channel's about. Lessons for Live, making songs your own. This is your G chord. These two never come off for the Pink Floyd's version, from what I understand. They might change it slightly by taking that off or taking that off or something like that. But basically, you're going to hold that G chord, and I'm not going to show you my picking over here. I just want you to see. Starting on the 3rd fret of the 6th string to the open 5th, 2nd fret of the 5th to the open 4th to the 2nd fret of the 4th. And that's the chord right there. Some people say they do it like this. Some people say they do it like this. I like to do it like this. Because I like that dissonant chord. It's not what they're doing exactly, but like I said, make the song your own. So once again, you're going 3rd fret. You're starting on a G note, 3rd fret of your 6th string. Open 5th, 2nd fret of your 5th string. Open 4th, 2nd fret of your 4th. And if you're doing it like the album, you'd hold these two on there the whole time. Right? So 3rd, open, 2nd, open, 2nd. 2nd of the 4th string, open 3rd string, 2nd of the 4th string, down to an open 4th string. And that's a D note, but if you pluck the center 2 strings, that's a G chord. And then you add these two. And I know you probably don't know octaves quite yet, but this is a D and a G. This is a D and a G. Right? So it's 2 octaves of D and G. Is that what you're playing right here? Doing the bottom 4 strings. So, once again, 3, open, 2, open, 2. 2, open on the 3rd string, 2 on the 4th, open. Repeat. And you can start with the bottom 4 strings on that, and then just drop these 2 on top after the fact, or even just this one. But don't hit the 5th string unless you're going to grab the B with your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string to create the full G, right? So you do that twice, then we're going to get into the other part. So let's do the second time we do that. Instead of going up to the 3rd string, you walk down to the A. 2nd fret of your 4th string, open 4. 2nd fret of your 5th string, open 5. So now you're just going to skip the G since you're in the A already and just walk it back up. Down to the G. That's the whole opening. Now let me show you how I play it, which will make it a little easier on you. You know, I'm not going to count them off this time because you know what's going on now. So just simply hold that one note and then leave the rest of the strings open. Don't worry about these 2 fingers. Now just go to that. Bottom 4 strings. 1 finger. 3, 2 on 4, down to 4. Then hit all 4. Now instead of holding all of this, just go ahead and hold the index finger like on the A like I showed you. Open 5, 2nd fret of 4 and 2nd fret of 3. And if you can add that If you can reach that pinky over the first and second string, go for it. If you can't do that yet, start working on it. And then that's flamming that up again. Keep it open. Okay, now I'm just going to walk through it nice and slow. Ready? Here we go. Full G chord. Okay, slightly different angle. I'll even go slower. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty much it, guys. Now, if you want to learn the lead, go ahead and go back to the intermediate section. If you want to find that time code quickly, it's down in the description area. Just click on the intermediate lesson, click on that. In that section, I'll cover all this stuff, and I'll also cover how to play the lead. Hey, so that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and if you got something out of this, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. To check out another video, go ahead and click this link right down here. If you want to check out our channel, see all our videos, go ahead and click this link over here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.